What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Crypto Catch Up. Of course, your number one place to catch up on crypto. Now, we just got some news, guys, that a major country, basically for the most part, just killed off crypto for themselves, leaving a lot of people to wonder, okay, what does this mean for crypto? Is this going to have an impact and much more? Personally, I don't really think it's that big a deal, which I will explain in a second here. But of course, I want to, talk about it for you. This channel's main purpose is to keep you as caught up as possible. So when the news hits, you can trust that we're going to bring it to you. Now, guys, I know the quality is a little bit different. I am currently out in the wilderness. We got a little log cabin out here on a family vacation for the week, so the videos may be a little bit different, but hopefully the value of the content is still the same. Now, what happened? So Italy came out and said that they were going to be raising their capital gains tax from, I believe, 24 or 26% all the way up to 42%. Now, Italy's not a small country. It's one of the major nations. And so obviously it's led people to wonder, what does this even mean? What implications does it have on crypto? Now, what I want to do is I want to kind of reshift your brain a little bit to understanding that where crypto is right now. Okay, and the status that we've taken crypto up to, as a community, as a collective, kind of puts it out the way of news like this, although it isn't good, right? And I will kind of say, like, for the 18-year-old or the 19-year-old or the 20-year-old who's in Italy, who can't leave, right, who has to be in Italy and maybe has to take care of their family but wants to trade crypto, that does suck, because realistically what a 46% or 44% capital gains tax means is that if you invest $100 and you make $100 back, so now you have $200, what you're going to have to do is pay 46% on that $100 that you just made. So instead of making a profit of $100, you only made a profit of 50-something dollars. Realistically, the government takes 50% of your gains, which that's rough. A 4X is just a 2X, basically. And so because of that, for those people in those situations, I feel terrible for you, especially if you're watching, because at the end of the day, there's really no true way to avoid that legally. And so because of that, obviously, I feel for you. But when it comes to the crypto community, okay, this doesn't really impact the crypto community. Now, it's easy to think that in a moment like this, whenever Italy comes out and does this, that someone could say, oh shit, like what impact is this going to have on crypto? Is this going to slow down some of the volume? Is this going to take traders away? Is this going to take away from liquidations, or not liquidations, sorry, but liquidity in general? And although it makes sense to think that, let me explain to you why that's not the case. So where crypto is at in general is that it's established itself as a major entity in the world, not just in the world of Web3, in the world. And as a result of that, in moments in which certain countries implement regulations or legislation that can be negative for crypto investors, crypto exchanges, things of that nature, what we've noticed is that those people will migrate. They will leave. They will find a new place to go. Now, you might think that a capital gains tax would only affect, a trader, right? So you might be thinking, well, that just means people who want to trade crypto are going to have to go to a different country, right? But it's not just them. Let me explain to you. In Italy, for example, there are crypto exchanges that are Italy-based. And what happens is that the Italian traders are no longer going to be trading on those Italian exchanges. Therefore, those Italian exchanges are going to lose revenue. Therefore, they're not going to be able to operate in Italy. So what happens is this domino effect in which traders and then exchanges and then the companies that rely on the exchanges and everyone involved end up leaving, because they just quite simply cannot afford to stay there. And so it's not just the little guys, it's the bigger guys as well that are affected by this, but they end up leaving. Now, if you don't believe me, what we saw was that July 1st, India implemented a much higher tax on crypto. India's mind was that, well, we're seeing a lot of people making money off crypto. We want a piece of it. So they raised their taxes. That's how that went realistically. And I think that they were expecting that people were going to continue to trade in India, but that's not what we saw. If you go look, Indian exchanges lost 50% of their volume within 2 months. Within 2 months. That means that if they were doing $1 billion worth of volume per month, let's say, no, that's unrealistic, but a week, $1 billion within a week, they're now doing 500 million in a week. And you know what happens? The lower their volume, the lower the revenue, the lower their ability to operate. So what ended up happening in India was a mass migration out of India to Eastern Asian countries that were implementing better regulations for crypto. And so India, thinking that they were going to get more of a piece of this crypto money, really just kind of pushed crypto out of their country almost irreversibly. There's almost nothing that they could do at this point to solve it to some degree. And so India, with 1 billion people, makes that mistake and this happens, you don't think Italy making that mistake, something similar is going to happen? No, that's exactly what's going to happen. All of the major traders, all of the major exchanges, all of the major players are going to simply just migrate to another country. And what you have to understand is this, right? Italy is in Europe, obviously. Europe's very small. You know, you look at Europe compared to the US, for example, leaving your country is not quite difficult in the scan of geography, right? Is it geography? Yeah, the geographics, right? So because of that, it's easy for companies to just be like, fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm going somewhere else that has better regulation to another European nation or another European country that has better regulation. That's 4 hours that way or 6 hours that way. And so because of it, at the end of the day, the impact that this has is not on crypto, it's on Italy. And it's crazy to me that me, just a guy in a freaking log cabin randomly in the middle of a state, I'm not going to tell you, can realize like you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like that's all you're doing. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. History shows that when crypto is now established like it is, when you put regulations on it, trying to be greedy, you're going to just force everyone out and they're going to go somewhere else. Look what happened with India. Look what happened with the United States. That's all that happens. So at the end of the day, if you have these concerns that this is going to impact crypto, it's not. It's just going to impact Italy. Sorry about it. So because of that, if this was news that you were stressed out about, you shouldn't be. Because quite frankly, these people are going to migrate. Maybe it'll change things. And again, if you're, you know, someone that's in Italy, stuck in Italy, trading in Italy, this is going to suck. And I'm sorry. And, you know, I do feel for you. But at the end of the day, from a grand perspective, it won't really have much of an impact on crypto. So, of course, as I mentioned before, guys, the whole purpose of this channel is to keep you as caught up as possible. So when big news happens, when anything fundamental changes, when the technicals change, I try to keep you as updated as possible. Now, I am out here for the next week. Doing technical analysis and fundamental analysis will be a little more complicated. So a lot of the videos I make for the next 5 to 6 days may be more based towards news, but I know you guys enjoy that because you know you just want to stay as caught up as possible. So guys, don't forget, we have a goal on the channel. We're only 3 months old so far. We're aiming for 1,500 subscribers by November. So if you could help us out in that journey by subscribing to the channel, that'd be absolutely amazing. But look, while you are down there, let me know in the comments. What do you think about this? Why do you think Italy's doing it? Are they just being greedy? Do they recognize they're shooting themselves in the foot? Let me know your comments down there. And of course, again, I can't wait to catch up with you all next time. Peace out, everybody.